welcome back. Massive geopolitical shifts have taken place in the Middle East. These shifts are rooted in the emergence of the ISIS. There is a little difference between the extremists now in Syria and Iraq and other radical Islamic jihadist movements. While Al-Qaeda might have longed to take control of a significant nation state, it primarily remained a sparse, if widespread, terrorist organization. It held no significant territory. Permanently, it was a movement and not a place. And discussing with us regional security today and joining us is Dr. Ibrahim Nawar. Welcome, Doctor. Thank you so much for joining us. A former UN delegate to Iraq and head of one of the sessions in the Egyptian radio and television Mondial. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us, Doctor.
So, Doctor, first to start with, how do you define the situation in Iraq and Syria, and how, what are the significant differences between extremists in Iraq and Syria and this region?
The problem we are having at the moment in Iraq and Syria is that we used to fightings between two Arab states. We had in the past a lot of disputes, for example, about borders or about some economic wealth. But this time it's different. We have a conflict between non-actor, non-state organization and a state. And at the meantime, two states are facing this threat, that non-state actor is moving across the borders and trying to establish a new political identity, Islamic State as they call it. So this is completely different scene from what we used to see before. So at the moment in Iraq and Syria, a non-actor, non-state organization is controlling almost 1/3 of each country. This is completely dangerous. It dominates as well about 8 million people under its rule, and it has a lot of infrastructure, a lot of wealth, a lot of dynamics that it's through the borders of the two countries is creating a new political reality that pushed the international community to build an alliance, an international alliance, in order to try to defeat ISIS. At the moment, in Iraq and Syria, and in some other Arab states as well, there is a big and serious threat. We have to confront it. Luckily, we're not confronting that threat alone. We have the international community. But the problem with the international community at the moment is that there is some sort of double standard. You fight ISIS in Syria, but you don't fight ISIS in Libya or in Egypt or in Yemen. For example, we have Al-Qaeda and...
We have different forms of terrorist organizations, other ones. But in the meantime, also, Dr. Ibrahim, I do know that you held a symposium in the Egyptian radio and television Mondial about Iraq and the threats of the militants on the regional security. Can you tell us a little bit more and explain to us a little bit about it?
In fact, we had a long session talking about the role of the media to try to stand against the threat, the role of the political actors, and the economic role, how to try to control the finances of ISIS and try to
contain
strangle this lifeline of money and resources that is feeding into its power there. We had, on the whole, about 5 researchers, very well knowledge researchers that spoke about these topics. On the media, it's very important to try to improve and use in the official media in a much better way than we do at the moment. It's very important as well to use the social media because ISIS is trying to employ social media methods in order to recruit and to get finance and to have some sort of moral support as well. It's a fight for the minds and the hearts of the people. And ISIS is trying to use the social media in the best way they can. So we have as well, in order to fight them, we have to fight them on different fronts, not only on the security and military front, which is very important, by the way. It's not,
but on across the board, on the social media, and we have to
yes, we have to add the media, we have to add the ideology, the policy, and the economy.
On various fronts.
Yes.
Yes, with the deterioration of the situation now in the region, Doctor, how do you see this? Is it going to be like dividing those two states? Because this is quite obvious today what we're seeing in Iraq and Syria.
Of course, we have a problem here because we know from the political literature that there is a strategy to divide the Arab world.
Which happened in Sudan very recently.
It happened in Sudan, and we can see some of it happening now in Libya and in Yemen. This is very dangerous.
Of course.
If we look at the borders in the Arab world and we see that these borders might be altered or changed, this will result in some sort of conflict. We have to be ready in order to be able to try to pacify any danger. But at the moment, ISIS is playing as a catalyst to change the whole scene, to change the political landscape, the political map of the Arab world. So I hope that we can, as Arab states and Arab people, we can be able to do the right thing against ISIS and try as well to make the whole environment against them, political and...
On the different fronts,
Yes.
as you had mentioned.
Who do you think ISIS really are?
This is the $1 million question that
Exactly,
everybody was talking about.
Is it like, something is backed up with European states, the enemies to the region, the United States, for the oil purposes? There has been a lot of statements, around this, bringing in such group and having them, pulling extremists from all over the world.
Different parts of the Arab world.
It's very difficult to find an answer using some sort of linear thought. We have to employ your mind in different directions in order to find out. Iran